Hello, my name is Kevin and welcome to the Love Decanters channel. So, I've been on a trip to the Old Bakehouse Antiques Centre in Northampton. It's fairly close-ish into town, and a lot of vintage glass, not much really old antique stuff there. And yeah, to tell the truth, I've spent a lot of time hunting for glass this evening, and as in trying to figure out what things are, and some successes, some failures, but you know, that's how it goes with this business. You try and figure things out, and not always successful. Sometimes you spot things and you just go, yeah, I know what that is immediately, and sometimes you guess and you're right even, because that happened. Anyway, with that said, let's get on with the video. So it's a cold day in Northampton. I'm here at the Bakehouse Antiques Centre. There we go, the Old Bakehouse, sorry. And yeah, it's in a side street. If you're coming to Northampton, the race course is just down the bottom of this street. So, or the old race course, it's not a real race course anymore. Yeah, it's just a park now. But anyway, I've just been in and said, I'm here, I'm going to film now. And yeah, so let's get on with the film, eh? The Old Bakehouse is its own place. You've got your TARDIS by the door here. And then they've got this van that they use, although it's being used as a bit of storage at the moment. But anyway, yeah, you go in and it's got kind of like little mini shops, and then it's got huts, and then it's got bigger huts down the back, and then you've got the main building, which has got an upstairs and a downstairs. So yeah, there's a lot here. This first one, there's a couple of things in here. I mean, this is Wedgwood, but these are interesting. I don't recognise either of these. This horse's head is quite nice, but I don't recognise it. There's no label or anything. I can't even see a price on it. Squirrel. I'll go outside and have a look. But yeah, I will. They're quite distinctive. I might try and find those. So after looking at a couple of hundred glass horse heads, I found, struck lucky, I found this pair here. If I show you here, and Hajdamach, Swedish company, and yeah, I think I've got a carafe of theirs that I'm going to use in another video at some point when I get to that type of carafe. But yeah, this is an interesting company because it's still making glass today. Now, I was a little surprised because I did look them up several years ago, and they seem to be in the doldrums and not doing anything. And yeah, here they are still making it. I looked in the history and I heard that they'd got some investment in 2021, and they look like they're back in business. They've got a few different products, and look, they're making decanters. And in actual fact, this is a style that they've been making for a while. So I've gone through the repertoire of stuff that they make, and they don't make glass horse's head anymore. In fact, they don't make any sculptures anymore. It appears it's all so you've got plates, jugs, vases and pots, glasses, tea light holders and bowls. So there's no paperweights or sculptures or art glass or anything like that. It's all well, I suppose you could say vases and pots and bowls count as art glass, maybe tea light holders, but anyway, they're not making sculptures anymore. So yeah, that means the horse's head is not new, and it's several years old, I'd say, because I said I looked at them at least about 4 or 5 years ago, and I think they were kind of semi-broken down then, and they came back in business in 2021. So yeah, I reckon it's several years old. What does that mean? I don't know. It could be 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. yeah, I've got no catalogues for them. So yeah, we are where we are with that. But I have found a maker. I don't know how valuable it is. I can't see any for sale in the UK at the moment. So that is that. Not that common. There are some for sale in the US. They're not that valuable there, but that doesn't always mean anything. So there you go. But I have ID'd it. Remember I said always look down. Down here underneath everything, there's this big handkerchief bolt, and I am certain that's a Chance Brothers one with this hammered effect. I'm definite it's in both of the books, so I'll be able to look that up and give you a date for that one. The book I'm looking at here is Miller's 20th Century Glass by Andy McConnell, and here we go. This is the hammered one that we were looking at, and the date here has got 1970. Yeah, the prices I'd say he's got here is a little bit ambitious, but yeah, that was a bigger one, and I don't see those very often. So yeah, I know there are people that do look out for them, and I think that is probably on the rarer side of what they are. There's also another Chance Brothers transfer printed plate here, with enemies. I've seen that pattern in the book as well, so I can give you a date for that as well. This book is 20th Century British Glass by Charles Hajdamach, and yeah, this is the pattern we're looking at. It's called Anemone. It's from 1965, and what's interesting, it's designed by Michael Harris. Now I presume that is the Michael Harris of Medina Glass and Isle of Wight glass fame. So yeah, so that means this designer has a good pedigree, and he must have done it not long before he disappeared off to the Mediterranean to set up Medina Glass. So yeah, a bit interesting that. So yeah, we're in Northampton. It's the shoemaking town in England, and yeah, look at all these bits of shoe lasts. There's a couple of irons. These might even be from the shoe industry as well, because you've got to smooth that leather sometimes. Yeah, there's a few. There's like that's probably the best one, and I've got one of those at home, and they're £10 each. And yeah, and over here, for those who want to get into metalworking, there's a whole amble, and even with the little extra piece on it, so that's quite a nice thing. I don't see a price on it though. I know it's not glass, but it's quite cool. So I'm looking in the first hut here. There's a lot of smalls. Nothing too exciting glass wise. I mean, that's quite a nice, yeah, that's glass, so that's quite nice for glass. It looks like a real flower almost, but I don't recognise who it's by. There's another paperweight over here. There's Caithness. That's Caithness. You can see it's got pink stripes on it, and also behind me, where's it gone? There's this. I'm pretty certain this is Caithness with these stripes. There's a thing Caithness did. Don't recognise this. This is quite nice, but yeah, I don't recognise it. So I punched in Caithness stripe vase into Bing, and yeah, so what we've got here is a whole bunch of different stripy ones. This is actually the one we were looking at here. This is it, £14 on Etsy, and yeah, look at these prices. That one's a bit higher, but most of these are not very high prices. Yeah, there's a pink one here. It's like what we were looking at over the other side. So this is the one that was on the left, and this is the one that was on the right. And you can see there's different ones. There's the green and blue ones, and the pink ones, and then I think there's black and white ones as well. But yeah, black and white ones. There's a few different colours, but you look at these and you think, yes, I know this. The thing to watch out for is Costa Boda. So Costa Boda did some striped vases as well. So like this with white. There's one that's black and white. This one here. Can you see? And yeah, there's got like more here. This one. You just need to be aware of the two, okay? Because this is a different, like that one's relatively cheap, but 95, 52, 94. You get the idea. They're just a different. They're in a different price bracket. I'm not going to go into the sold prices and all that kind of stuff, but they are in a different price bracket. So yeah, they are harder to find, the Costa Boda ones, but just especially these ones with the sort of randomy stripes, a bit more colourful randomy stripes. Just watch out for those ones. See this one here, this is closer to. See, that's relatively close to the Caithness ones, but it still has a little bit of randomness. Look, there's a little bit sticking out the bottom here. So that's what you've got to be looking for. This slight randomness to it, bit sticking out in places. Because some of them are closer to, I mean, the ones which are on white with the multiple colors, they're a bit away from the Caithness ones, which are more regular. But some of them, like that one that I was looking at just now, this one here, this one is closer to the Caithness ones, and some of them are. So you just need to be aware of that. And yeah, just it's an opportunity to have a bargain if you see one that's a little bit away from the Caithness patterns. Oh, having just done my video on ribbed glass, or videos, there's a little ribbed bell decanter. This is like the ones that were from Sunderland. See the stoppers, doesn't have a Pondle mark on it. It's fairly standard of the kind, 1845 to about probably 1890 or something like that. And then there's a celery vase, and I recently did one on celery vases as well. This looks interwar, so yeah, 1920s or 30s, something like that. And then what else is here? There's a few other bits and pieces, but nothing. A few little. Oh, that's interesting. The foot, the little trumpet foot. Many people I know that did kind of like trumpet feet like this. Probably Whitefriars did them. Thomas Webb. I think Stewart did them as well. So. Maybe I can find that pattern. So we're looking at the whitefriarsglassworks.com website, and this is the 1978 catalogue. And those glasses, the glasses and the tumblers we're looking at, are called Garland, C438 Garland. I don't know if they're valuable. I might go and look them up as well. So yeah, we were looking at sherry glasses, and I think they were little small tumblers, so little 5-ounce tumblers. Yeah, so I was right. They are Whitefriars. I just had that feeling, which is why I said it first. But yeah, sometimes you can't. You kind of go, yeah, I think it's this, but you just can't relate seeing it to and the word to how it came together. So anyway, this is what those glasses were. So let's go and have a quick butcher's in eBay and see what they've got to say about prices. So here we are in eBay, and I was right. They're not that well collected, really. I think they probably are designed by Geoffrey Baxter, because they were, the first time they appeared in the catalogue was 1978, and Geoffrey Baxter was the chief designer right up to the end. The little trumpet feet make them stand away from most of the glasses, but they're not a spectacular pattern, really. Yeah, the trumpet feet is what makes them stand, but when you look at the tumblers, they could be almost anybody's. And this type of glass is just not collected. People are not, there might be Whitefriars people out there that are looking, oh, I'll get a set of those. But yeah, you know, £4 for two. Really, this is the sold price. So the people that bought these have basically paid £4 a piece for these. Looks like they've probably paid about £6 each for those. Looking at they've taken an offer, but then it's £4 back on top again. So they probably paid about £6 each for those. These look like the small tumblers. So best offer accepted again. So they probably paid about £4 each for the little tumblers. Yeah, it doesn't seem a lot. New, even back then, people were probably paying brand new in the 70s. I suspect people were paying £15 or £20 a glass, because that's the kind of thing cut glass was going for, and it's why a lot of the glass makers went out of business, because people stopped wanting that kind of glass. But anyway, that's what they are. They are Whitefriars, which is puts them a cut above other non-named glasses. So sticking that name on will probably get someone to buy them. It's always interesting to find a box, but it's terrible when the box doesn't tell you anything. So I found this service, and I see a lot of these around. I'm going to turn it over very carefully, and the cardboard is that kind of really crappy cardboard that looks like it's recycled from the 70s or 60s. So I don't think it's actually recycled. I think it's just very poor quality cardboard. Yeah, I don't know. Might be French, might be Bagley, don't know. Some swans here. They're not Whitefriars. I don't recognise them. The wings are kind of like added on, and then pressed with little feathers on. Yeah, don't recognise them at all. Let's see if there's a mark just in case. There's a pontle mark, but yeah. Can you see the pontle mark in the middle? I'm going to try and find those. They're a bit different, a bit worked. So also there's some sort of like heart machine here, and yeah, danger, possible explosion, hazard if used in the presence of flammable anaesthetics. So yeah, if you want to do a bit of heart testing, careful not to blow yourself up. So I punched in glass swan into Bing, and I had a little concern because there are a million types of glass swan in here. They're all very different from each other. There's a few, you see the odd same-ish ones like these. But yeah, I was very worried, thinking I'm not going to find it in here. But I did. Here it is. Look, look with the separate wings. There's about 7 pictures for it. Let's see if I do this. Will it go big? Yeah, there you go. You can see the wings there. It's got different angles on it. Yeah, that is clearly this one with the pedestal base. And what makes this one especially good is dun dun dun, Edinburgh crystal, made in Scotland. That's what you want to see. So yeah, little Scottish swan, and there were 2, and the prices were, I think it was like 15 for 2, so 10 for a big one and 5 for a small one. I don't know if that's a good price or not, but and I'm not going to go into eBay because yeah, I'll be there forever. But anyway, that's what it is. It's an Edinburgh crystal swan, and I was, when I started the search, I ended up being very surprised that I even found it. A couple of Stuart crystal decanters here. I don't recognise this pattern. It doesn't jump out to me at all. Normally I go, yeah, even if I don't recognise it. For Stuart ones, because I've looked at the catalogue so often, I usually recognise them, but I'm going to have another look. It's got like a thistle or something near the top. See if I can get a better view of it from here. Can you see? So yeah, this clock is nice, Bakelite clock. That's quite cool. This is the 1964 catalogue that I have downloaded from the Stuart Crystal Collectors Facebook group. Okay, yeah, join it. You can get your own copy. In fact, you can get a few copies of different years. But anyway, this is the pattern we're looking at. It's called Mansfield. Okay. Now, when I looked here at the shapes they've got, there's no square whiskey. In fact, it says the spirit decanter is like a short, dumpy one. Yeah. Now they were doing, because if you look at the previous pattern, this one here, they've got a square one there, and it's not there. So I jumped forward to, in fact, I did 1972 first. Here is the pattern in 1972. These are the shapes that they did in 1972, and there's no square decanter there either. Okie dokie. I then looked in, I thought maybe it's not in the wine services, because this catalogue is called the wine services, so I've gone into the miscellaneous ones, and yeah, so it is in here as bowls and vases and other bits and pieces as I scroll through, but no, I can't find it again. But anyway, it is definitely in here more than, well, there it is. Look at these compots, never seen these, and another bowl. So yeah, it is in here in different shapes, but not in the square decanter shape, which means the square decanter shapes were not common. I don't think it's a common one anyway, because it doesn't jump out at me as I've seen it before in here. And normally when I'm looking and trying to look things up, I kind of get to know them very well. And to tell the truth, I'm normally looking at the 1927 and 1938 catalogues, because I'm more interested in the older stuff. But anyway, this is what it is, and it looks like it's more your mid-century type glass, and it's called Mansfield. Classic piece of 1920s, 30s. Look at this with the. It might be post-war, but I don't think so. With aluminium chromed base. Let's say on it. Green glass, footed dish, £5. Yeah. And you've got this one down here. I've seen this pattern, and I'm going to try and find that. I think it might be Sowerby or Davidson. And then there's another one here. Look at this little footed bowl. This looks very pre-war. I think this might be Sowerby. I might be wrong, but I'm going to try and find this one as well. So I'm looking at the Sowerby 1953 catalogue that I've downloaded from the Victorian Press Glass website. Now, this is the bowl that we were looking at, this bigger bowl, and this smaller one. Now, this is 1953. There is a one from 1954. Let me scroll down to get the right place. And yeah, it's there in that space. So you can see the bowl design has changed. So the 1953 one, the little fruit bowls haven't got a foot, and the big fruit bowl should be there because you can see it there in that one, but it's not there. But this is the 1940. It's the same patent number. There's 2631, and if you look back here, the bowl that we were first. Oh look, there's a butter dish for 2631 as well. There's other things, and this boat here. This boat is the same one. That's back up here. Look, there we go. 2631. 2631. So yeah, out of luck there really with that picture, but it is from 1940. This catalogue, it's not in the 1938 catalogue. So yeah, so 1940 is a fairly close date that I can get it to. And yeah, it comes in different colours: amber, blue, green. I don't know what I presume rosaline is a pinkish colour. Amber's probably the least desirable of the colours. Green will being the most desirable because it's probably uranium green, and there are people that are out there looking at. There's even Facebook groups. There's even a couple of UK uranium Facebook groups that people just out looking for uranium glass because they're like lighting it up. But anyway, that's what it is. So I hope you enjoyed that. That's only part one. I'm not sure how many parts they're going to do. I'm going to try and keep the films a bit shorter and do them more frequently so that there's a higher turnover and I don't feel like I'm producing some huge epic thing that's, you know, some of them were getting up to an hour and I'm thinking, yeah, it's taking too long to do this, and you get a bit disheartened when you're just sort of like chunking through and spending days and not actually producing anything at the end. So with that said, so going forward, my films might be not nearly an hour long, but anyway, there will be a lot more parts and I'll be hoping to churn them out quite quickly. So thank you for watching. Please go and visit Bakehouse and Old Bakehouse Antiques Centre if you're in Northampton, and I will be doing a lot more parts to this, and all the references I use will be in the description below. And what else? And please remember to like and subscribe. Yes, thank you very much. Have a good night. Good night.